what will my 66,495 euro portfolio bring in dividends in July? The answer will surprise you. So let's first take a look at the projected dividend for the month of July. The dividend for July is 274 euros and 42 cents, which isn't particularly much, I have to say. July is one of my weakest payout months. Which companies did I have among others? Baxter, TransAlta, Bytex, Unilever, Alibaba, Energas, Tiger Brands, and many, many more. You can just take a look at them if you like. I'll just quickly go through the list, and then I'd say let's just pick out the highest payers. Among them are Kazatomprom with 22 euros and 23 cents, then Aker BP, Serica Energy, Shugang Foshan, PetroChina, Enel, Medical Property Trust, Innovative Industrial Properties, and Global Medical REIT with 17 euros. Global Medical Right with 11 euros, Repsol with 17 euros, and Energas with 31 euros and 20 cents. Exactly, those were basically my highest dividend payers. Now let's take a look at what actually came in during July. Here we can see overall I bought for 2,322 euros, I sold for 50 euros and 13 cents, and I received a total dividend of 189 euros and 60 cents, which is already net here because my exemption order has been used up, so everything has already been taken into account. Then let's take a look at dividends in general. This is what I then so let's take a look at the dividend. This is basically what I received. Let's just scroll down a bit for a moment. So you can see that I actually received the full dividend in the end. Don't be surprised if some stocks appear twice for some reason. That's because I invest both with Scalable and with Trade Republic. Cardinal Energy even pays monthly. Tiger Brands is a food company in South Africa, kind of like Unilever, and I even have Unilever Indonesia. Exactly, those are basically my figures for the month of July. Now, I would say let's just take another look at the things I bought and also sold during this period. During this period, I bought UPS for 226 euros and 44 cents. I bought Novo Nordisk twice in total for around 300 euros. I added more to Diana Shipping. Kumba Iron Ore for 115 euros. I also added more to Dow, but they have definitely cut their dividend now. I mean, I even got a message recently saying it was by 50%. I think I'll definitely take a closer look at that. I'll definitely have to look at this more closely. Then I bought more Trinity Industries, Western Union, and then National Grid again. So basically, instead of taking the dividend after taxes, I took the stock. I also bought Kumba Iron Ore again and BCE. That was another reinvestment. Then I had bought Fortescue, Itaú, Nutec One, Brazil Agro, Ate Chokra, Bukit Assam. I sold Banco BPM and I bought Hafnia. I added to my position in International Seaways again. I also added to Banco do Brasil because their stock had dropped significantly and therefore offered an attractive dividend yield. I bought more Flex LNG again at 18.72 euros because that was already very cheap in my opinion. Although I already have a very large position in my portfolio here, I told myself that if it drops to around 19 euros, I will definitely buy more because I personally just see it as an attractive stock. And here it was at 18.72 euros, so I thought, okay, I'll buy another small tranche. I also bought more TOM, 7 shares, and iShares Ultra Short Bond for 80 euros. That's my savings plan, which goes in every month, just so that I have some liquidity every month and can react to any sudden price drops or similar situations. Yes, that was basically my update for the month of July. What I would also like to briefly mention is there's the iShares Treasury Bond, which essentially replicates the 20-year government bonds, or rather 20 plus. I just want to quickly show here that it has, of course, taken quite a hit recently, especially since the dollar has dropped so much. But right now we have a dividend yield or a coupon of 4.69%, which in my opinion currently offers a really, even a very good ratio simply to, let's say, park your money. Of course, with long-term bonds, things are generally more volatile, but if interest rates are lowered, it's likely that the price will also see some performance gains. Because interest rates have been kept high for so long, the price here with iShares, that is the Treasury bond, has definitely taken quite a hit already. That means I'm basically investing my money here with the idea that, okay, for a longer time horizon, I know it's more volatile, but in return, I would get a coupon of 4.69%. And for a government bond, which let's say is considered safe or classified as safe, I personally think that's pretty good for me, so to speak. That was my July update. I'd just like to quickly show you what has already happened in August. Not much has happened yet in August. I just wanted to show you the latest purchases. So as I said, the ultra short bond, then I bought Haidilao International stock for 100 euros. Rodavon, that was again this reinvestment stock after taxes, and I bought Campbell's Soup, a total of 6 shares for 170 euros. Of course, these are always somewhat smaller positions, but they just add a bit, let's say, a certain small stability because the dividend isn't high, but it's, around 5% or so. Let's just take a quick look at it as well. Right, so it currently has a dividend yield of 6.78%. Exactly, and it's an investment holding company in China. Specifically, it's active in the areas of restaurant chains and delivery services. It operates a Chinese restaurant under the Haidilao brand, which specializes in hot pot cuisine. The company is also active in the sale of spice products, food ingredients, logistics, wholesale, corporate consulting in the financial sector, as well as in food research, development and technology, and trading. Exactly, and for me it was also quite good as a way to get into the emerging market a bit, especially with a rather interesting dividend for, let's say, a food supplier, which in my opinion was already quite attractive. Then my most recent purchase was Campbell's Soup. Here we currently have a dividend of 5%. As the name suggests, the company produces and markets food and beverages together with its subsidiaries in the United States and operates internationally. Exactly, the company operates in the segments of meals and beverages, that is, drinks and snacks. Here too, I would say, it's ultimately very crisis-proof with a 5% dividend yield. Also quite nice, definitely good to have additionally in the dividend portfolio. And here as well, you can see that the 10-year dividend is 3.89%, which has been steadily increased, which in my opinion is also very healthy and for me personally quite nice to invest in on the side. Of course, with a smaller amount, because I generally prefer high yield stocks. I would say let's just take a look at my portfolio and see how it's developed a bit recently. With BWLPG, I'm currently up 611 euros, so almost 70%. Dorian LPG is up 20, British American Tobacco 50, Orlen also 50 here, NL 36%. I actually achieved a very good yield on cost there because they also increased their dividend. And so I think with NL, they usually have a 5% dividend yield. Currently my yield on cost is at 7%. Then here we have Torn up 7%. Exactly, you can just take a quick look through it. That's not really the main point right now. But what I've definitely noticed is that this week and also last week, commodity stocks and also the shipping sector have really surged quite a bit, at least in my portfolio. That's it for now as far as the update goes. The next series of videos will be starting soon. I think right now BDCs are more in focus, I believe, but I'll definitely post a community update about which series will continue next. So, thank you very much for listening, and as always, this is of course not investment advice, just my personal strategy, and I look forward to having you join me for the next video. Until then, successful investing.